So what's going on, chat? Uh, as I promised yesterday, this is going to be a stream about people's thoughts going into the debate tonight. Uh, Honestly, I didn't know the debate was going to be so late, so I'm probably going to watch the the replay tomorrow because I think it starts at 10:30. If someone knows otherwise, let me know. But if they're playing the debate at 10:30 at night, I'm not staying up to see two old people duke it out verbally. Kamala, as a prosecutor, she can make quippy. She can be quippy sometimes, and we know Trump sometimes can be quippy as well. But I I don't know. But like I said, if it is starting at 10:30, as I was showing earlier, I'm not gonna watch it. But this is why I said let's do the um, the pre-debate conversation now. So by the time this ends, everyone can get their popcorn or pizza or whatever and watch the debates. I'm not going to stay up and do that, but more power to you if you do. I'm not staying up to midnight to watch them. I was bored watching the first one, but of course, Sleepy Joe made that happen. Plus, they agreed that they would cut their mics as they are doing today, so it's not going to get too spicy. And when you plan stuff late at night, it needs to be spicy to keep people engaged. But yeah, so that's the topic for tonight. What are your thoughts going into the debate between Kamala Harris and Donald Trump? Now, and all the people who troll my live streams every day asking Harris or Trump can come in and actually have a voice here, but they are usually annoying because most of my live streams have nothing to do with politics, and when I do, I let people know this is a political live stream like today, and I don't see the same people. Sometimes I do, but usually I don't. And for the folks who want to engage in political stuff, we can do it today. What I will say though is that people who make their whole identity about political issues and not getting paid for it need to get a life. I will say that. If your whole identity focuses around talking about political issues all day in and day out, but you're not getting paid to do so, you need to get a life. You need to touch some grass. Probably need to go work out. So I don't know anyone who's like so zealous about politics who tends to be physically fit. I'm just gonna say it. I'm a blunt person. I don't care. People who just talk endlessly about politics day in and day out. These people aren't physically fit, or they would have other things better to talk about. And I'm sorry, I'm drinking water because I'm losing my voice. But yeah, guys. So again, the topic du jour. What are your thoughts going into this debate tonight between Kamala Harris and Donald Trump? No, I'm not showing us. Put it in the super chat if you want. If you're going to ask me a question that has nothing to do with the topic, put it in the super chat. Or you can buy a membership and watch my fitness videos. Otherwise, get the fuck off my channel. Fanuc. What's up, Luis? So anyway, and going into this again, I'm gonna ignore you if you're not talking about what I'm talking about. If you're not interested in the topic, drop it. Drop your question that's unrelated to the topic in a super chat, or you can give me a super sticker, or you can do a cash app. $ Page Enterprises LLC. Otherwise, anyway. So yeah, for folks who don't know, I've given my political opinions within the last 2 years of me having this channel. It's actually been about 2 years. I didn't realize it's been 2 years, but I guess it's been 2 years since 2022. And my very first video was political. So for people who come into my streams always asking me my political leanings, do a little homework. Like I said, I have endlessly talked about my political views. And people who've seen my stuff from the last 2 years can see how my views have slightly, not greatly so, but slightly changed over the last few years. As I started off doing this, I was quite apathetic about politics. I still am pretty apathetic, but I realized part of the apathy was being trying to be a part of Team Blue when Team Blue wasn't really representing my interests. So that was the issue. As far as what do I consider myself, trademark, I consider myself a classical liberal. Um, Prior to 2 years ago, I would have considered myself a progressive, but I just couldn't stay within that camp when so many of their views seem to be predicated on vic- uh, victim politics and identity and making sure that you say the right things. I'm a free speech person, so I don't believe that people should always be saying the quote unquote right thing. I think you should speak your mind. I think you should speak rationally, but not everyone's rational. Also, just because you're speaking rationally doesn't mean you're going to agree on things. So I'm against. So this, progressivism has seemed like it's left its values behind for the sake of identity politics and has readily taken up authoritarian tactics to make sure that certain groups have a voice. And I don't agree with that. Um, so I just consider myself a classical liberal, which is was the foundation of progressivism, I think. Classical liberals are not what you would consider a liberal in American, as far as American liberalism. Um, Classical liberalism, by today's standard, is actually on the right because they care about free speech um, as well as other personal freedoms, religious freedom, political freedom, economic freedom, democracy, and reason. Progressives and American liberals are happy to throw away reason if it hurts the feelings of people who fall into certain groups. They're not ashamed to throw away democracy if it means that the person they don't like gets elected. Uh, they talk about a lot about religious freedom, but they're inconsistent on it. You'll hear them always saying "Free Palestine," but I don't hear them voicing their outrage against Muslims in other countries being uh, violently attacked and other things that I want to say specifically because I want to keep this monetized, but they don't. I don't hear them talking about the Muslim Uyghurs in the Xinjiang province of China. I don't hear them speaking up for the Muslims in Myanmar being attacked by Buddhists, or how they're disenfranchised in places like Japan. But yeah, and the only reason they are for the Muslims in Palestine is just because they see it as an issue between white versus brown. That's the only reason. Um, and they're supporting a group that tends to be antagonistic against all the different identity groups that they put under Team Blue. So seeing feminists and people in the LGBTQ community speak up for these radical Islamists is pretty hilarious. So I could go into a whole thing about that, but I want to keep this on the debate. But suffice to say, again, I'm a classical liberal, which is not the same as your typical modern liberal or progressive. Uh, a classical liberal is more a moderate to center right, I would say. Um, but most people in America are somewhere in the middle, to be honest. Um, the most extreme people get 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 the most views, and you hear about them the most, whether online or watching mainstream media and stuff like that. But most people are somewhere in the middle. Now, some people would veer more center left, more center right, but people who are both far left and far right are the fringes. They're not the majority. Um, I'm not having a conversation with myself, Mark. It's just that if some people say stupid stuff, I'm just gonna ignore them. If you've been in my streams before, you would know that I engage heavily with people in my chat room. If I'm not engaging with someone in my chat room, it's because I'm intentionally ignoring them. Anyway, what's up, Lyman? He said, "Hey there, I've been thinking about this forest fire out here in California. Skies all orange and stuff, scary stuff, man. I didn't see because of all the election coverage. I haven't heard it because usually you would hear about this on the news, like, hey, there's another rampant wildfire going on in California. Last time I was in California, they had just had a wildfire, and I remember my Uber driver was showing me when the freeway where the wildfire had cut across the freeway, and he was he was saying because this was the normal route people took to commute, um, that some people had actually there was a lot of people instead of um, circuitously like rerouting how they got to work and back, were just risking driving through the fire that was on the street. This was back in 2018, I think. And we had a wildfire here on the East Coast 2 years ago, and this was happening in Canada, but it was so bad that that the skies were lit up in New York City, and even here in Baltimore and D.C., we could smell the smoke. That's how bad it was. So be safe out there. Um, Phoenix Funk 101 says, "Hi, I'm a first timer. What's the stream about, by the way?" This is the stream is about people's thoughts before the debate happens tonight with Trump and Harris. Lyman says, it's in San Bernardino County. I'm out here in the Mojave Desert. You're in the Mojave Desert? Uh, uh, so that must be pretty bad. I kind of blame it. Some of these wildfires, I want to blame on these greedy land developers. They keep building homes in places where these these habitats are prone to catching fire, and it comes out of the taxpayers' money when when these privileged people buy these expensive homes in these places where land developers know or should know that these are high risk areas for fires. I don't know if this is happening in San Bernardino, but I'm talking about some of these other previous fires. Phoenix Funk says, in my opinion, Kamala Harris made our prices go up, but the advertisements now looks like she's trying to change it. I don't believe anything that bitch says. I'm gonna be completely blunt. She has never had like she has never shown any decisive like views on anything. Like you can hate Bernie Sanders and you can hate Donald Trump, but you kind of know where they stand on things, more or less. Trump has evolved on some views, but for the most part, you know, he has mostly um, conservative viewpoint on a lot of things. Bernie, you know, he has a very progressive view on things. And, you know, if it's not your cup of tea, then you can go with someone else. But at least they let you know more or less where they stand. Kamala's a chameleon. She's a political chameleon. And I don't trust her. And I don't think she's that competent as a political leader. Lyman saying she changes accents depending on the majority race of her crowds. Yeah, I mean that happens with a lot of politicians. I won't blame that just on her when I've seen other politicians do that too, especially in a Democratic base. They have a habit of trying to be the everyman sort of person by blending in with the crowd. I mean, to a certain point, that's not a bad thing, but when you try to just throw in a whole different way that you talk, it comes off as inauthentic. But like I said, her whole political career has been her being rather inauthentic. So Lyman says before she used to talk about how West Indian she was, and now she talks about how black she is. Right, like when she did that little thing with that Indian lady who's like a you know a writer and showrunner and acted in a few movies and TV shows. I forgot her name, but the little fat Indian chick who decided to do a whole show about the cartoon character Velma and just made her completely unlikable, and did a whole show on Velma where Scooby doesn't actually exist. But anyway, the less said about that horrible cartoon, the better. Onyx says his views are that of what moderate Democrats had in the 90s. Remember, he was a Democrat his whole life. You're referring to Trump? I don't know if he was a I don't know if he was a registered Democrat prior to becoming a Republican. I think he's been a Republican for a long time. What he has said is that he's donated both to Democrats and to Republicans. I mean, he donated to the Clintons back in the 90s. So um, I I don't know that he was a registered Democrat in the past. If someone wants to fact check that for us in the chat, um, please go ahead. But I'm not. I know he said he's contributed to both Democrats and Republicans, but I've never heard him saying that he was a registered Democrat in the 80s. Mindy Kaling. Yep, that's right, Lyman. Thank you. Like she was kind of cute on the first time I saw her on 40-Year-Old Virgin, but ever since then, like when I saw her on The Office and her own her own TV show she had, and other movies she's been in, I've just never find her attractive. Maybe because like she's South Indian, and I don't find them as attractive as the other Indian groups. So, but no, it's not. No, actually, it's not that she's South Indian. It's just because pretty much she has an annoying personality and she's fat. But yeah, Lime says, yeah, I don't know much about her. I've seen her in some commercials, but I don't know much about her. Yeah, so the first thing I saw her in was 40-Year-Old Virgin, where one of the guys on in the movie was up. She was his ex girlfriend, and he was obsessed with her, and she became like I think a writer and actor on The Office, and on some other, and I think she was a writer in several other shows. She became the showrunner for Velma, and I think she's the voice as well. And she made Velma very unlikable, and no, the show scored so lowly on Rotten Tomatoes, like it got like a 6 or 9% Rotten Tomatoes score. Like both the critics and the audience hated it. Usually the critics will try to cover for a bad show because they're paid to do so. But it was hard. It was hard even for the critics to shill for that show. And I think the audience score was like 6% or 8%. Um, but she's a bit entitled and self righteous. So that went into the personality of Velma, which I think made the show so bad. Uh, Linus says, "Remember that one guy yesterday who texted you blue hearts and asked you some annoying question or something?" Yeah. Before, actually, before you came onto the stream today, I actually addressed that. I said today, since this show is actually about politics, I invite those sort of jackasses who will come into all my live streams that have nothing to do with politics and try to like take over my chat room by asking a bunch of impertinent political questions. I was like, today is actually the day for them to come in. However, I ended up blocking him because he was, I think, yeah, I think I blocked him because he was out of pocket yesterday. And it was like, first of all, why are you sharing? Why are you giving a bunch of hearts to another man? You know, that was the first red flag. What's up, Flutterby? Stay here, please. Um, and second, like then he was like, you know, asking me, give me five, give me five good things that Trump's done. I'm like, that has nothing to do. That had literally nothing to do with the topic last night. That had literally nothing to do with anything. And I told him, I was like, look, don't be a, I was like, don't be a jackass. That's not my topic. I was like, if you want to ask me something that's completely outside of the topic of the live stream, drop it in the super chat or drop me a super sticker. But he decided to get go with personal attacks, so I just blocked him. I don't. It's like I don't have to deal with that. But yeah, if he wants to come back under a new username, because a lot of these trolls do that. Um, a guy 2 days ago did that. I had blocked him Saturday. He came back Sunday under four different usernames, and I just blocked each one. um, but if that guy, no, actually no, I didn't block him. I didn't block the guy yesterday. He just stopped talking because he realized I wasn't going to engage him. But no, if that guy wants to come back today, Bobby Taylor, that was his name, Bobby Taylor. If he wants to come back today, or if he's lurking right now, he's more than free to share his opinions. My issue was not him sharing his opinions. My issue was that he was asking me a question that had nothing to do with my live stream that yesterday. I thought it'd be, are people in Britain gonna watch the debates here? And let me change my chat filter to all messages to my own chagrin. um, maybe I'm not. Well, I think it's gonna come on 10:30 here, so I'm not. I might. I'm gonna make some pasta, and I might go for a second run, do a little shadow boxing because I was supposed to hit the gym today with my friend, but I ended up doing like a 12K run, so um, he went on to the gym without me. But tomorrow I'm supposed to do some no gi BJJ, my first BJJ class, so that would be exciting because I've made fun of BJJ for the last 4 years, calling it gay, but uh, I'm willing to give it a shot. I and it's the no gi class, which is the worst of the worst of the worst of them. um, and then the following day, Thursday, I'm supposed to do some Muay Thai. I'm a very much a Muay Thai snob because I'm one of those guys who takes one day. I'm one of those guys that goes to Thailand and does a few lessons there and comes back with my nose in the air like, you call this Muay Thai? I'm one of those type of folks. Farby says, nice, going gay for the day, eh? Never, never. For one thing, I'm going there and I'm wearing a groin cup. That's number one. I'm coming there with my groin cup on. There will be no unintentional groin touching on my end. I will be wearing a groin cup. Anytime I do, well, and it's not just because it's BJJ though. Anytime I do a kickboxing, a Muay Thai, or or a grappling class, I wear a groin cup just to protect myself because accidents happen. Because the last time I sparred some Kyokushin karate guys, they kicked me in the nuts like 2 or 3 times, and it was only because I had my groin cup on that I wasn't down for the count. Because how the first time is an accident, you know, the second time is a coincidence, the third time is a pattern. So um, that's why I really don't like Kyokushin karate. I think it's whack, and I'm kind of leery of. I know I shouldn't say this, but I'm gonna say it. I'm leery of some of these black instructors in the city. I think some of them got a lot of ego. But yeah, but yeah, definitely not going gay for the day. I'm wearing my groin cup, and if anything gets fishy, I'm out. Actually, what I am worried about is there. I found there's another place that gives you an intro Gracie Jiu Jitsu. Gracie Jiu Jitsu Gracie Jiu Jitsu is the precursor to Brazilian Jiu Jitsu. They're very similar, but there are some differences. There's a place up the street that teaches it. However, when they gave like the photo of their class, it was like a bunch of fat black women. I'm like, I don't want to roll or do drills with a bunch of fat black women, even if it is Grace, even if it is taught by Royce Gracie, because the academy is under Royce Gracie. For folks who don't know who Royce Gracie is, he's like the creme de la creme of Gracie Gracie style and Brazilian Jiu Jitsu. I don't know if that name's enough to get me engaged that I would want to roll around with a bunch of fat black women. That's why I chose an Asian woman to marry, because I don't want to roll around with a fat black woman. Oh, I know that sounds horrible, but whatever. So, do you know much about JD Vance? I really don't. Um, I, only thing I know was like the stuff that came out when he was picked by Trump as his VP, and I think a lot of people were actually disappointed with his choice in getting JD Vance. A lot of people actually thought he should get Vivek Ramaswamy, which would have definitely energized the Republican base because he had a lot of following. He had a strong following. However, I get it. I don't think personally. I don't think Trump chose JD Vance. I think his team did, and They probably just looked at the optics and thought, for Middle America, having this white guy who comes from supposedly like Appalachia or whatever. Although people his his have doubted how much he actually comes from the countryside. Whatever, I don't care. But the optics of picking someone who seemed like he's from Middle America, I think, was the decision in that process over someone like Vivek Ramaswamy or that black dude. I forgot his name, or even Nikki Haley. I I think Nikki Haley actually would have been the better choice. To be honest, that probably would have been a better choice. Shit, even Tulsi Gabbard, but who knows? But yeah, I don't know much about him other than he was once known for insulting Trump, and then he kind of bent the knee, and now he's his VP. So, Flutterby says, "Ouch, pattern means learning how to block." Well, yeah, but again, when you're actually like sparring people, you assume that someone who's an instructor, like the guy is literally like the guy he wants people to refer to him as Shihan, which is above sensei. Like he's like a fifth degree Kyokushin karate instructor. So technically he's a master. You would think someone like that would know not to kick someone in the nuts. Like once, sure, accident, but two or three times, and I can't remember if it was two or three times, but two is one time. Two is one time too many. But it's not about blocking. It's like you think sparring. Look, sparring has rules. In sparring, certain things you don't do. You don't gouge people in the eyes. You don't kick them in the nuts, and you don't elbow them, unless you're wearing elbow pads. Most people don't wear elbow pads when they spar, so most people don't elbow. So those sorts of things you don't do. You don't you don't poke people in the eyes. You don't kick them in the nuts. You don't elbow them. You don't bite them. Like these are just common sense things amongst martial arts experts. So I shouldn't have to even be weary of that. Besides that, in the heat of sparring, you're not thinking about blocking your nuts. So, but you're right. I should be more vigilant about blocking that, particularly in a self defense situation where it could get nasty, right? So you're right, Flutterby. But again, I didn't think that would be something I would have to protect in in the midst of plate and light sparring. But Lyman says Nikki Haley kind of goes back and forth with liberal and conservative, though. She's a, I think she's staunchly conservative. The thing is, Lyman, she's one of those never Trump Republicans. So you have a huge group of corporate and establishment Republicans who don't like Trump. The reason they don't like Trump is because they know he's a bit of an iconoclast, that he's not going to just fit into the nook as they want him to be. Because one, he has his own money. He's a billionaire, so he doesn't have to genuflect and bend the knee to corporate donors like people like Nikki Haley does. Nikki Haley is bought and sold by the by by the corporate donor class, just like most Democrats. This is why people like Bernie and Trump were so popular back in 2016, because they were both populist candidates. These were people that were not bought and sold for by the corporate donor class. The corporate donor class owns both the Democrats and the Republicans. Yeah, Tim Scott. He said, I think the black guy you were talking about was Tim Scott. Yeah, like I said, a lot of people had thought he might pick Tim Scott over Vivek Ramaswamy, and Vivek for sure. If he wins, he should definitely put Vivek in his cabinet, in a cabinet level position somewhere, because we could see perhaps in 2028 or so, say like a Vivek against Alexandria Ocasio Cortez. Like it's almost a given that she's going to make a run for presidential politics at some point. I think anyway. I could be wrong. Flutter B, what should I do for my next members only um, video? I don't really have a good idea on that yet. But so guys, do you think the debate is going to be exciting? Do you think it's going to be dull? I don't like to think. I don't like that they're going to cut the mics. I think a lot of us actually like. I think a lot of us actually like the back and forth, and especially if you're going to have us watching it late at night, two old people, like then we want to hear them get down and dirty, because that's going to keep us interested in watching. Father B says power hungry latches onto winning team regardless of their views. I like them to be strong enough to stick to their values consistently. Yeah. Like I said, I don't like one of the many reasons I don't like Harris is that she's a political chameleon, and again, it's hard to know where she actually stands on anything except at a given time. Seem like her views change with the wind. And I know they have accused Trump of that back when he was president, but if you look at his political record, he pretty much was he pretty most of his policies were like um common, like I think like your typical conservative. He wasn't as far right as people were afraid he was going to be, and you know he was actually moderate in a lot of things, like with the ABORTION issue. He was actually more moderate on that issue than people gave him credit for, because although he like most conservatives wanted to get rid of Roe versus Wade, he said, and he's pretty much backed up the fact that he didn't try to make it a federal law to get rid of it. Instead, he's made it a state issue. And I think that's fair. More conservatives actually wanted him to go harder and actually make a law, a federal law banning it, instead of him just saying, I'm gonna keep it as a state by state issue. Um, Lyman says, I think Trump is going to destroy Kamala like he always destroys liberals. So I think she's going to try to attack him on. If I had to guess, I think she's going to try to destroy him on being. She's going to probably try to paint him as a criminal and all this sorts of stuff. And I think he's going to paint her as being disingenuous, because apparently Tulsi Gabbard has been helping Trump prepare for the debate, allegedly. Actually no, even in the interview she said that she has had some engagement with Trump on the debate um, last week. But if I can speculate on that a bit, I think she's going to try to go after him as being a criminal and someone who doesn't deserve to be president because of that, and he's going to go after her for being um, inconsistent and disingenuous and weak on immigration. I think that's where he's going to hit her. Lyman says, "Don't take this clear sky for granted." Flubby says, "Your last members only was awesome, especially the special pants. More needs to join is really worth it." Well, I don't do it to look sexy though, but I appreciate it. Now, I was just wondering, like, should I do another? So I plan on doing a martial arts video for everyone. So the members only stuff is more of like a more of intimate. That's why I don't mind having the shirt off when I'm doing my fitness videos, my members only stuff, because I'm, working out like I would actually work out. Like if I'm working out in my room, I'm not gonna have on a bunch of clothes. It's hot, right? Um, so it's a more intimate portrayal of me like working out and giving tips, whether I'm showing people how to stretch or giving them some like intro, some basic um, Muay Thai techniques, or or showing people how many push-ups I can do in 2 minutes. So stuff like that. And like I said, if people want to see the number of those push-ups, for one, I was thoroughly disappointed in myself, but it was more than I think most people do in one set. By the way, like one set to muscular failure. So I'm thinking of what I should do next. Oh, I also did that core. That's right. I also did the core workout, showing people how they how to develop those stomach muscles. So obviously, need to see what muscles and stance, etc., are used to replace it properly. Stance? What you talking about? Like fighting stance, or I'm not sure what you mean. Linus says, "Rest in peace, James Earl Jones." I know yesterday we talked about him, but he was awesome. Yeah, I agree. I'll allow it. Yeah, like I said, that was the topic yesterday. Was commemorating this legendary actor. Um, but this guy wanted to ask me questions on what what makes Trump worthy of voting for him. I'm like, what? So Flaby says positions. Oh, need to see what muscles and positions, etc., are used to replicate it properly. Okay. But when you mean positions, are you talking about martial arts positions, or are you talking about like just fitness, like just pure fitness stuff? So I know you have like issues with um, some of your health, right? So I think someone, I don't know if it was you, Flutterby, or someone else was saying that was asking me would I be able to do like a video for someone who's like in a wheelchair or handicapped to defend themselves. And I was saying, unfortunately, I haven't really geared the way I teach self-defense to people who have disabilities, but I do know there are some instructors whom do, and maybe I should actually consult with them. Flubby says all of the twisting wrong way can hurt. Yeah, so this is why you should always start out a workout with a warm up. However, I don't believe in stretching first as a warm up. That's actually not a very good way to work out. Counter to what a lot of people think. You should actually start off your workout with some cardio. This is why like a lot of people in martial arts and Muay Thai, they start their workout with a run or a jog, then they start their workout, and then so they might do start off with some cardio and then they do some stretching. But you never just want to go into stretching cold and then start your exercises. That can actually lead to more injury. Larry says, "Yep, me, because I can only stand with crutches only. They are weapons enough. Crutches actually can be good weapons, actually, very much so. That would feed into like teaching you like techniques with like cane techniques and stuff like that, and techniques using sticks. So, what's the longest time you streamed? 2 days ago, when it went to like 4 hours and 45 minutes. When that guy, I was explaining literally like for 40 minutes my position on ethics, and I kept trying to explain to this guy, and he didn't he went from not agreeing with me to like insulting me. And I was like, all right, well, I just wasted 40 minutes of my life talking to someone who just became a troll. So I just blocked the bitch. And then he came back yesterday. No, 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 no. Was it uh I think it was just he came back Monday. Was it Monday or Sunday? He came back under 4 usernames because he couldn't take no for an answer. He sounds like a grapist. Replace the G. If you leave the G silent, you know what that is. That's what he sounds like. Like you can't take no for an answer, so you keep coming back trying to harass someone. So, he said, "I never seen you in the stream so abruptly as that day." Yeah, because he was annoying, and plus it was late. It was like almost 4 o'clock in the morning. I had no intention of staying up that late because I get up around 4:30. Ideally, usually I don't if I'm staying up late, but if I don't stay up late, I can get up around that time. And he just completely threw my like. I didn't mind continuing the conversation if it was fruitful, but it wasn't. So I got off because it was almost 5 hours into a string. I'm not staying up that late anymore for anyone, unless there's like major money being pumped through the super through the super chats. Like I'm not staying up that late ever again to do that. Because I really don't. I'm not like some streamers. I don't enjoy talking to idiots, and I'm not gonna beg people for their likes and for likes and supers and all that sort of stuff. I'll just end it. So dang, I'll have to watch that part. Yeah. The topic of that live stream, Lyman, was um, philosophy inoculates you from bad political and religious ideas. Flubby says, I don't blame you. It takes too much iced coffee to stay awake. No, I wasn't going to take coffee. I wasn't going to drink coffee in the middle of the night. I only drink coffee during the daytime. I'm not drinking coffee 11, 12 at night just to talk with people. I refuse. I have a life. So I refuse to do that, especially to talk to stupid people. Not you guys, of course, but I'm saying like he was an idiot. So I'm not going to stay up late and pump caffeine just to talk to morons. Oh, I forgot to put on music today. Oh well, we can do without it, I guess. Actually, no, I could put on some lo-fi. Let me see. But yeah, I don't. Yeah, I won't put on. I won't drink caffeine during in the middle of the night unless it's like I have to stay up for like medical reasons or something like that, or I'm studying. Or I'm studying. The only time I've drink caffeine in the middle of the night is like I'm staying up to study or I'm staying up for like health reasons. That's about it. Lo-fi, lo-fi. Um, there's something I put on anime lo-fi, I think. Mm-hmm. Lyman says, remember that one guy who said he was from Japan or South Korea, but he said hello in Vietnamese? Yeah, I remember that moron. I didn't pay him a lot of. That would work on people who don't know anything about Asian culture, but being someone who's actually been to many of those countries or have friends who are of that ethnicity, he just sounded like a fucking dumbass. Flurry says, I wish I joined that stream. Philosophy is a fun topic. If you're looking outside the box, as long as you know what the box is to begin with. So one of the problems Flutterby was that he's one of those people that don't understand that um, philosophy is an academic discipline. A lot of people think philosophy is just it just means speculating on things. That's not. These are the people who don't do well when they come into an academic philosophy class. All right, no problem, Lyman, because they think it's a free for all, and then they get kind of dismayed when they realize, oh, there's actually like a certain like academic rigor like to doing philosophy. Like you can't just say anything, that you have to be clear, concise, and cogent, that you need to have a background in formal logic, um, that there are many concepts and intellectual tools used in philosophy, that you're going to be expected to write lengthy papers, that you're going to be expected to read lengthy papers, that you're going to be have to evaluate these papers and these people's arguments, that you're going to have to display a sort of intellectual nuance in how you understand things. For people who are incapable of doing that, philosophy is not for them. They think philosophy is just fortune cookie bullshit, or sounding like Neil deGrasse Tyson, and it's not, or sounding like Deepak Chopra, and it's not. Especially not analytic philosophy. Now, continental philosophy, that's a whole different story, where the emphasis in continental philosophy, and when I say continental philosophy, I'm talking primarily of the French and German thinkers. They have a heavy emphasis on literature and literary criticism and embracing certain social movements. Analytic philosophy is not that. Analytic philosophy has a emphasis on has a emphasis on um, formal logic, obviously, as well as doing analyses, typically conceptual analyses. So, um, but I love philosophy. And my point was that, there has been some research shown that show that people with training in academic philosophy, particularly analytic philosophy, I would think, but academic philosophy in general, that they tend to be better at thinking through things when it comes to politics and religion and other like social topics better than the late than the average person. That was sort of the breadth of my topic that a few days back. Linus is my bad. I was checking how the weather was. No problem. Oh boy. But yeah, it's funny. Like I said, when I bring up a top, like so when I address a topic that some troll wants to change my topic on a given day, you notice the same folks who were dying for me to change the nature of my topic that given day don't show up when I'm here saying, hey guys, you guys want to talk about politics? All right, well, we're going to talk about politics. Then on another day, people say, oh, I want to talk about philosophy. And I'm like, all right, well, we'll do that another day. They don't show up for that either. So this is why I stopped doing topics. I stopped allowing people to give me topic suggestions. I just go by what I want to do. The only person I know who gave me topic suggestions and actually showed up for them was Miss Needle. So shout out to Miss Needle if she's up. I don't know if she's sleeping or not. Um, she's a sweetheart. Um, but yeah, she's the only one who gave me topic suggestions and actually showed up for them. Everyone else who's gave me topics didn't. Toby says the biggest two philosophical differences I found interesting is Greek and Japanese. OMG, you have to do another philosophical topic day. Oh yeah, I'm going to do more philosophical topics. What I've changed though for to be was that so when I first started doing it like 2 3 months ago, I would just say let's talk philosophy, and I think that was too. I think that might have like been too wide of a scope to say let's just talk philosophy because again there's so many aspects there's so many subdomains within that falls under philosophy that often people didn't know how to engage the topic or they just wanted to talk about religion, and I'm like that's cool but religion is not philosophy. Like there is religious philosophy, but I didn't want the whole stream to be about religious philosophy, which is usually the only thing people know about when they talk about philosophy is religious stuff. So now when I do a philosophy topic, I I still keep a wide scope, but I make it within a given domain. So I'll say, let's talk about free will, or um, I don't get into very analytic topics just because I know the very hardcore analytic topics people just won't understand. But what I do is that I sneak those analytic things into the topics that we discuss. So whether we're talking ethics or whether we're talking free will, um, whether we're talking religious philosophy, I will sneak in some of those analytic concepts into it, um, those analytic philosophy concepts and tools. Also, I will give people information on introductory books they can read who don't have any background in philosophy. They can get them enmeshed in learning some of these basic intellectual tools in philosophy. Because most people think I think a lot of people think I'm just making this stuff up because they never heard of these concepts that I discuss. Let me go into my history. I can find it that way. Um, to give a suggestion anyway. Lana says, I'm afraid to give you one and be busy that day. A topic. Flubby says, give a suggestion anyway. Like, I might still do a topic if it's a good suggestion. I just get miffed when people keep like haranguing me to do something and then they don't show up. I don't mind taking suggestions, but like if they're like strongly advocating for it and then they don't even show up when they know I pretty much stream the same time every day, and then I'm like, I'm not gonna do that anymore. What's up, J.A.C? He said, what times does the debate start? I believe it's 10:30 Eastern Standard Time, but you might want to check just to be sure. Um, because I think you're on Central Time, so it might be 9:30 for you. Um, but I'm not staying up this. I'm not staying up that late to watch it unless I'm still up at that time. And even if I am up, I'm not going to watch the whole thing. I'm not watching 2 3 hours of that. Like, I cannot find my lo-fi stuff. Mm. Why so late? I don't know why they decided to do it so late. That's I have no determining. They did the last one late though too though. If you remember, the last one was kind of late. That's why I didn't watch the whole thing. Uh, Lyman says I like the Ask Me Anything streams because whatever's on my mind and the questions I have I can ask. Yeah, that's why I do it once a week. I tell people, okay, for all you guys who want to be random, here's Ask Me Anything. Again, the same people who come into my streams trying to change the topic on any other given day don't show up for those Ask Me Anything formats. One guy did show up, but he asked me something that I literally answered like a million times. And I'm like, dude, I've already answered that. He was like, well, you said it's Ask Me Anything. I was like, yeah, I know it's Ask Me Anything, but I've already answered it dozens of times when he kept saying, well, Trump or Harris. I'm like, I've already answered that. I was like, if you've been in my streams before, I've answered it. If you watched my videos, I've answered it. I've said Trump from the longest. It's like, yeah, you're just trying to be a troll. Let me lean back like Fat Joe. uh, TJC says, who would you want to moderate the debate if you could choose? Pierce Morgan, Joe Rogan, someone else? Well, I said, um, well, I think it should be maybe more than one person, but I was saying Jon Stewart was a person I would like to see moderate. Uh, and definitely Joe Rogan. I think Pierce Morgan do one already, or am I just having a false memory of that? But yeah, I would say Joe Rogan, Jon Stewart. Ted Hyman says I would never vote Democrat. That's funny. But if he says Democrat, I love it. Yeah, I'm of the mindset that a lot of black men are on right now, which is like we're gonna vote anything not blue. So here in Maryland, and I've already told my friend this, and I'll probably put it on my Facebook at some point. I don't care. I'm voting anyone who's not Democrat. And because Maryland is a heavily blue state, there's probably going to be some things on the ticket where both people are Democrats. So if it's if it's if somewhere on the ticket both candidates are Democrat, I'm gonna just write my own name in. But I refuse to vote for them anymore. They've let down this state. They've let down the the city of Baltimore, and they've let down black people. So I'm not voting for them anymore. Um, Lyman says the reason I keep talking about the wildfires because I've never seen a sky like that and it's scary for a first timer. But whatever, I guess you might want to make sure you have if you still have those masks left over from the pandemic. This would be a good time to use those, keep those masks. I still have a ton of masks from 2021. Ted says it's not about gender or race, it's about what is good for the people. That's true. Guys, is that music too loud or is it okay? That's funny. She got her little Pokemon in her thing. This is this lo-fi is called close. This lo-fi channel is called Closed on Sunday. I like that stuff. I like the anime lo-fi, and well, it's not anime lo-fi. It's more like a pop culture lo-fi. Then the other one is a Star Wars lo-fi. It's a little loud. Okay, no, I'll change it. Sorry about that. Plus, I don't want to get copyrighted. I want this to be monetized. That should be good. We need Star Wars. Well, I did Star Wars lo-fi yesterday. I wanted to do a different one. Plus, because the Star Wars one, it was more like it felt more like sleepy time music. GJ says R.I.P. James R. Jones. Yes, sir. He's the third. Also, for people who don't know, he was like the third and final person who portrayed Darth Vader in the original trilogy. There was David Prowse, who was the body actor for Star Wars. Then there was um that other guy, I forgot his name. He played the old version of Anakin before they swapped it out and put the young Force Ghost, but the original old Force Ghost of Darth Vader. He passed away, and now James R. Jones did, who was the voice actor for Star Wars. So the three people attached to playing Darth Vader in the original trilogy, all three of them have passed away. Flutterby says it was great music yesterday. Okay, thank you. I mean, I'll play it again. I just wanted to do a different one this time. Actually, let me put it up a tick higher. And after this stream, I'm probably gonna make me some pasta, guys. So, are you talking about Sebastian Shaw? Yep, I am. Thank you. Good call. Good call. Yep, Sebastian Shaw. He played the original Force Ghost of Anakin Skywalker before they replaced it with Hayden Christensen. And most people who watched the original trilogy before it was tinkered with hate the fact that they brought in Hayden Christensen to do that. Flutterby says you'll have to mark the perfect stream volume so it's ready every time. Yep. The problem is like if I'm playing different songs, if I'm playing music from different channels, they all have different volumes. That's my biggest problem with YouTube is that there's not a universal, like, unlike other like streaming platforms like where everything is pretty much at the same volume. Like every channel on YouTube has different acoustics. So um if I'm playing lo-fi from this channel, I know to adjust it to a certain volume. But then if I go to like another channel to play either a different lo-fi or to play some like classical music or something like that, then I have to adjust it to that channel. So there's, there's no way to preset it. Lyman says, what I like about these streams is that the other ones are annoying with loud rap music and drunk dudes or some BS. This doesn't have any of that. Yeah, I've come to realize that some of the streams have like some quite weird content creators who will be high and be asking people stupid stuff. So yeah, you won't see any of that here. I'm trying to get uh now that I'm monetized, I'm thinking ahead long term where I actually want to get this to grow. So I want to get to 10,000 um, subs, and after I get to 10,000 subs, I want to hit 100,000 subs, and after I hit 100,000 subs, I want to hit the million subs. So I don't see that happening with these clowns with the stuff that they do on their streams, like as far as telling people they'll do anything for a few likes, or that's just no. Fluffy says this is an awesome stream. Moment I found it, I was hooked. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Oh, they this. Oh, by the way, this closed on Sunday is actually available on Spotify too. So if you guys like this music, you can find it on Spotify. It's called Closed on Sunday. Appreciate it, Lyman. But again, like I said, to give my synopsis of the upcoming debate, to switch back into the topic, I do foresee, like I said, I think Kamala's whole game plan going into this is to paint Trump as erratic, as erratic and a criminal, and therefore unworthy of the presidency. That's her strategy, and that's pretty much what most people on the left already think anyway. So she's going to just kind of double down on that and go at him from a legal perspective. I think his I think his angle of attack will be to paint her um, as inconsistent in her policies, um, to have a checkered career as a lawyer, and to show that she's weak in protecting the country against illegal immigration and dangerous actors across the world, as we've been engaging in 3 proxy wars. So, hey, Miss Needle, I was hoping you show up. She said, Lyman, how far from the fires are you? Fluffy says, hey, Miss Needle. Miss Needle and I were actually discussing earlier today off screen about getting into like weird live streams and stuff like that. She was, because I asked her, was she the one that told me that she's seen like some really weird or dark things on YouTube, and she said she's seen some stuff, but I think it was some of my other followers and also Moonlit Fern who's really seen some like weird stuff. Miss Nino says there's really nothing to joke about. Stay in a room close the windows, vents, and anything that can suck in the air or secondhand smoke from outside. The FFP2 masks don't really help. You need some better equipment. True. I was just saying he should probably have some of those surgical masks on hand, just as a precaution. Because like I said, I think a lot of people still have a bunch of them left over from 2021, 2022. J.A.C says now McGregor is running for president of Ireland. Are you serious, or is that a joke? Flutterby says that's close. Take care. Yeah, because Lyman said I'm about 2 hours away from the wildfire. That's relatively close. He said it's clearing a little bit though, but he said it's not affecting my breathing, but it's just disturbing to see. Well, I'm just saying keep those masks on as a precaution. What I should be buying myself, well, what I will be buying sooner or later, I'm gonna have one of those tactical gas masks. I've actually saw someone with that back in 2020, and I thought he was a moron because he was just going out for a jog with a tactical mask on. I'm like, unless he's testing his equipment, he looks really stupid. It's like you're not gonna get the COVID-19 just going for a jog when you're not around other people. That I was like, that's not how it works. But people were so irrational back in 2020 and 2021. It was actually comical at the time, especially seeing people in the supermarket. But anyway, Ms. Nita says, Lyman, have a bug out plan ready for any scenario, even if it's not necessary. It's good to know what to do when the SHTF happens. All right. She's absolutely right. This is why I have a bug out bag. And even when I came to my grandmother's house 2 months ago, I brought my bug out bag with me just in case something happens here. Unfortunately, if a SHTF scenario happens, I don't know how much I could help her because we don't have a working well, actually no. So changing that. So now we actually have a working vehicle because my cousin and her husband are here with us as well. They could get my grandmother out, but if it was like a thing where we had to bug out on foot, I wouldn't be able to help her. Unfortunately, but I'm gonna have a bug out plan for me as far as depending on what the scenario is. I have my bag, so I can get if I need to, and I have my passport, so if I need to, I can bug out, and if I have to, get all the way out to Lincoln, Maryland, to the closest airport, which is the BWI Thurgood Marshall Airport. Um, I also know where the police department is from here. The fire department is from here. Uh, so yeah, I have a map. So Miss Nia says better to have it than need it. Yep, yep. J.A.C says serious. Connor said he's running for president of Ireland. Well, best of luck to that. Well, I'm not gonna say that. Best of luck to him. I can't take Conor McGregor seriously. Lyman says, "Yeah, I'm being careful. I hope we don't have to leave." He says clearing out a little bit. Well, since it's clearing out, what you should be doing if you have the funds, you might want to go to like a um, a wilderness or camping sort of store like Dick Sporting Goods or 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 Ray Sporting Good Warehouse or something similar, and get like a good hiking bag and put some of the equipment in that you've seen me and my wife do on our videos. Like you can look at my video on my bug out bag, and my wife did a, a video on here too. She live streamed with me and she showed us everything in um, her camping backpack. So might want to stock up for that. And you don't have to do it all at once. Just buy little things one by one that you need. Miss Nia says, Lyman, don't hope for it. Plan for worst case. That's the better approach. With fire situation, it happens a lot that people got stuck or roads cut off suddenly. Yep, like what happened in Hawaii last year, in Maui. The funny thing was the local government told people just stay where they were, and a lot of those people died. The people who fared the best during those Maui wildfires last year were the ones who bugged out immediately, even though that went against what the government told them. The local Hawaiian government said, no, you guys should stay put. and those people burnt to a crisp. The people who were the safest were the ones who bugged out early. And those are the two, that's one of the two biggest reasons people will have to bug out of their homes is either fires or floods. And this comes from FEMA. The two biggest reasons to bug out of your home won't be aliens attacking, won't be some solar flare causing the breakdown of the power grid. It won't be some nuclear attack. It won't be something weird or something out of a doomsday scenario type thing. The most often case for people to bug out of their homes is flooding and fires. So people should plan accordingly. Agatha says, "Good night, sir. What's the topic tonight?" The topic is what are people's thoughts before the debate happens tonight. That's the topic. And I'm surprised I didn't get a lot of people coming in to flood, flood this stream with all sorts of political opinions. It seems they all only want to flood my stream with their political opinions on days that I'm not talking about politics. I think some people literally just like disrupting the balance of the stream. He said, "Yeah, I'm prepared, just worried." That's good. Sneer says, "Okay, okay." Can you guys hear the music? Is it a good like balance between the sound and being able to hear me? So I know it was too loud at first. Then I thought it was too low, so I kind of tweaked it where I think it's at the perfect level. He said, "Yeah, perfect. Okay, thanks, Flutterby." I guess I'm so looking forward to hear from both of the candidates. I would be if it was earlier. I wish they started doing it earlier. Like, why do they keep doing it at 10:30? Like, I'm just not that engaged that I want to hear two old people rambling at each other for 2 hours at 11:30 at night. I, like maybe if I had some pizza, some popcorn, some buffalo wings, some General Tso chicken, which is my favorite, by the way. My favorite food, General Tso chicken or buffalo wings. Maybe a steak sub. Okay, I'm making myself hungry. Like if I had some food and I had some people over, maybe I'd be more motivated to stay up late and watch it. But it's not going to be that engaging, especially when it's just the two of them. It would be more engaging if they start letting these third party candidates have a voice. Hopefully, they'll do like they did in the previous elections where they have a debate just for all the third party candidates. But so many of them have already dropped off. Like, now, you know, uh, you know, now that Robert F. Kennedy Jr. has dropped off, like there's not that many third party candidates left. There's still Jill Stein for the Green Party. She's still running. And I think Cornel West is still out there. Again, I'm not sure because the mainstream media has deliberately blocked press, any press releases coming from Cornel West because he would be a threat to the Democrats. Because obviously, as a black man who leans left and has is very well liked by people on the left, he would be a threat to the Democratic candidate. So the mainstream media, which kind of shills for the Democrats, they've kind of stymied any talk from Cornel West since last year. Like I've not heard anything from that man since early last year in 2023. And there's also other third party candidates out there as well, but people don't know about them because they have not getting been given a voice. Lyman says, "Miss Needle, don't you make music?" She sure does. Said Miss Needle says, "Lyman, yeah, I do currently working on the channel intro for Contrarian and another track." Yes, yes. And I'm so appreciative of her for doing so. Lyman says, "Oh, that's cool. I have to check it out sometime." Yeah, definitely go to her channel, Lyman. If you haven't already subscribed to her channel, please go to her channel, sub to her channel, check out some of her music. Really, uh, for the top shelf level of her music production, which she does all herself, from the producing, the performing, the editing of the videos, and all that sort of stuff, to putting it out there for people to consume. All the stuff that she does is no, like I said, is no way that she shouldn't have like 10K follow 10K subscription subscribers. That is. Lyman says, "Oh, that's oh, I'm sorry." So Agla says, "Is that so late? Is that so late? I thought it was 9 o'clock. I thought it was too, but then when I was checking online, they said 10:30. I think what's going to happen is at 9 o'clock, you're going to have all the pre-debate pundits come on and give their opinions on what's going to happen, and then the actual debate is going to start at 10:30. But like I said, someone, I'd be more than happy if someone can fact check me on that and tell me if that's right or wrong. Because sorry, I had to check something, but I wanted to. But yeah, because I don't want to keep people past that point if it's about to start. Because if someone tells me it's starting while we're in the midst of a stream, I'm gonna cut this short so everyone can go see it. But like I said, from what I've gathered online, it's gonna start at 10:30, and I don't know why they're starting it so late. That's literally after the news goes off. No, no, no. The news what goes off at 11:30. I'm sorry. So I don't know. It's still too late. Most adults don't stay up that late anymore like that. Older folks maybe, but Flutterby says awesome. Miss Nito can't wait to hear it. Me too. Miss Nito says Lyman, thank you very much. Appreciate it. Don't feel forced though. Really, no pressure. You got a channel too. BSK says airline compliant bug out bag, and how about that? Yeah, I mean, like I said, depending on the bug out scenario, BSK, my plan is either to get to another person's house if this is just something within my neighborhood, if it's something enveloping the whole community or the whole town or city, then I have friends that live outside of this area. But if it's something that's like regional, then my plan is just, hey, I'm gonna get to the airport and get the f out of here, and I'm gonna have my passport. A passport should be a part of your bug out plan too, because I don't care how patriotic you are, you can't fight a foreign invader or whatever with if you're not prepared. Like, and sometimes it just may not be feasible. So people should definitely have people should definitely have a passport as part of their bug out plan. Miss Nina says, Flutterby, thank you. Still editing the video. Miss Nina says, BSK, you reminded me of that bad baby with her go catch me outside. How about that? So her, she got paid money. Who who did the um, bad baby, or you talking about Miss Needle? Get some water. Drink water. Train to kill. Who? No, I'm not drinking iced coffee at 9 p.m. I don't drink coffee that late. It's 9 p.m. I'm not drinking coffee. unless I'm going to be up late. I drank my coffee several hours ago though. Is that a hint to buy you more? Yes, yes it is. But no, actually, like yeah. Sometimes I'll drink it at 9 because I can, for whatever reason, I can metabolize caffeine at night where it's not going to keep me up all night. But if I'm not doing anything, then it will keep me up all night. Like I did plan on doing maybe a second run tonight. Um, it depends on how I feel after I eat. But I actually am short on coffee to be honest. Um, but I did have iced coffee today though. BSK says AM rural mostly come and take it, please. I don't get that. Agnes says, "How is your allergies? You sound much better." Yeah, I'm much better. That was affecting me. What was that? A few days ago, I was having the sniffles, and then a week ago, actually, I got it really bad because I think I had got some pollen in my eyes or something, and my eyes are swollen up, and I was having difficulty breathing. My wife was saying I was probably going through some sort of anaphylaxis. I don't know if there was anaphylaxis or I was just having a somewhat allergic reaction, but my face, like my eyes, definitely got very swollen and puffy, like on the movie Hitch with Will Smith. Although my face didn't look as bad as his, but it my eyes were looking horrible, and yeah, it was bad. This was like 2 weeks ago, but yeah, the few days ago I was having the sniffles and all that, um, and I think I went out for a run and I felt better. BSK says, "Yeah, heard how heard how about that chick made out." No, well, she got paid when she did the OnlyFans. That was what happened. The first when she first started her OnlyFans, she got paid in the multiple millions for that. She didn't. She was already making money from her fake music career, but it was really when she started her OnlyFans 2 years ago that she really came into a lot of money. It didn't have anything to do with her music. Thank you, Agatha. Yeah. Um, it's that time of season. It's that allergy season, and apparently there's some tree pollen around here that really affects me because every time I go out for a run, I start breathing hard, right around the corner, and then as soon as I get away from it, I don't feel that weight on my chest as I'm running, so I know it's not from the running itself. It's from like whatever pollen is in this area right next to the house that's causing that. Because usually just going up a slight incline isn't going to cause me to have feel heavy in the chest. This is definitely being caused by some sort of pollen in the area. Oh, this is from Nezuko's thing. No, Nezuko's thing, Demon Slayer. I forget like the U's are silent in a lot of Japanese names. Nezuko's thing, Demon Slayer. Wasn't there a new? I thought there was a new arc that just came out, but I don't know. BSK said we have dirt spread out, not much else comparatively. Well, you might still have pollen in the desert too, because there still are plants that blossom in the deserts. But I would imagine that it would be less so than somewhere full of a lot of um, vegetation like around here. Luckily, also my allergies doesn't bother me when I'm in the Philippines, which is a very tropic um, destination. I haven't had problems there either. Only problem in the Philippines is Metro Manila is very smoggy. So if people have um, uh, maybe like asthma or something like that, it might affect them, especially like bronchial asthma. Miss Neal says no allergy, but you gotta deal with the spiders and snakes there. Here she go with the the spiders and stuff. We guys, this an inside thing. We had a speaking of spiders, I see something dangling off my fan. Damn it. But yeah, we had a long little uh, funny conversation off screen about spiders and her and where she lives. And for some reason, she's decided to befriend them. And Germany has some weird spider species. Lime says, "Hey, I just got back from doing something. No problem." Miss Nita says, "And insects. BSK says continuing advances in allergic medical treatment. I don't know with hay fever would I be able to get a prescription EpiPen? I don't know because I actually would like an EpiPen for my bug out bag. To be honest, I could keep like a EpiPen in my bug out bag and keep one in my satchel. So like when I'm out and about, I can just keep an EpiPen on me in case." Miss Neal says it was actually poisonous. The one I caught high it was a Nosferatu, so it's named after Dracula. I mean, it's named after a vampire. Yeah, I don't like that. Miss Needle says you gotta take some antihistamines. There's different ones that don't make you tired. You don't need an EpiPen. That's overkill. Yeah, I do have antihistamines I keep in my bug out bag, and I have some in my toiletry kit here. So I keep antihistamines in my bug out bag and aspirin, and I have aspirin and antihistamines in my toiletry kit too. EpiPen is like for like emergencies. Again, bug out bag is worst case scenarios, right? So that's why I'm thinking I should have an EpiPen. But I was wondering whether someone who has prone to hay fever would qualify for a prescription for an EpiPen because you can only get them here through prescription. Ms. Neal says if they don't help check for mold or anything, it can cause symptoms that are similar to allergic reactions. Just saying for everyone. Yeah. By the time they catch black mold, you have to completely remove that or move or actually just leave that home. Flutterby just thank you, Flutterby. She just gifted me uh, a membership. Who did it go to? Hound someone named Hound Lover. That's the only thank you, Flutterby. That's the only problem with gifting memberships because I wanted to gift one to Miss Needle, but it's apparently if I send a bundle of memberships because content creators can send membership bundles to people, but it always goes to a random person. It's the problem. So but I appreciate it so much. Thank you. Miss Needle says every single time, right? I want to get one to Miss Needle and I can't because I wanted her to I wanted her feedback on my videos, and the only way I could do it is if I the only other way I could do it is if I like um I have to subscribe to YouTube Premium. If I subscribe to YouTube Premium, then I can actually download my videos off of my channel, and that way I can post it to other platforms. But unless I'm not, because since I did those as live streams, they were never saved to my phone. Now, if I'm doing a pre-recorded video, I can save it to my phone and then send it to someone else, or I could post it on a different platform. But if I'm doing it as a live stream, as I did most of my member only's content, then the only way I can download it is if I subscribe to YouTube Premium. This says I don't need it. It's all right. I already gave you extensive feedback. Well, no, but because as a moderator, I wanted you to be able to have access to the memberships. That's why I wanted you to have access to the member only content, Miss Nito. Because as a mod, like even with the mod settings, I don't think she can access it. So I was looking. So moderators can moderate the chat room, and I think in even a members only format, but they can't see the content. They can't access it, even with the even as a moderator. That and that kind of to me that's the only thing I would say sucks. So next time they're doing like a survey for YouTube creators, I'm gonna say that I'm gonna be like you should. I would say they should allow people's moderators to access their members only content. Because how are they gonna moderate if they can't if they don't have access? So, like moderators can still change and delete stuff, but they can't access it. Flappy says that seems stupid to be honest. I know it does. That's why I said like the YouTube the next time they do like a survey for YouTube creators, I'm gonna say you guys should give access to moderators and to member only's uh, video content so that they can do their due diligence because it defeats the purpose of having mods if they can't moderate just because it's a members only video. So, because some people have literally hundreds to thousands of members in their on their channels, especially like the big channels. Like these people might have hundreds, thousands, tens of thousands of members. Listener says, doesn't YouTube get some of the memberships cost though? They get a yeah, they get a cut of everything. But the majority goes to the creator. But yes, they get a cut of everything. She says that that's why they just don't let mods access it for free. All about that profit. No, I get that. What I'm saying is they need to have tools that moderators can still moderate those. Like I can understand they can't access the videos or whatever, but they should still be able to become. They should still be able to come into those chat rooms in case someone gets out of pocket. Like maybe they can't see what's before them on the screen, but they should just be like they able to be in the chat room. I think that would make sense. Or or they should allow either the moderator or the content creator to get a membership for that moderator. Like there should be like a maybe like a and maybe that could be a special price for moderators as opposed to like subscribers, since they have to access that stuff to do their job anyway. Like maybe it should be like a lower cost for moderators to get memberships. Oh, by the way, Flutterby, did you send me any messages on buy me a coffee? Because if so, I haven't checked it yet. Is there anything I need to check? So you should try drinking cayenne pepper with water. It helps. Ill. You and I don't have the same sense of taste, Miss Needle. I mean, we already know that from previously when we discussed food. You and I don't share the same. Yeah, cayenne pepper. At least the mucus built up from the allergy, or eat raw ginger and garlic. If I'm gonna eat something with ginger and garlic, I might as well just get some General Soul chicken. General Soul chicken, it has a lot of ginger in it. So does orange chicken, but General Soul chicken, you taste the ginger. Yeah, I'm not drinking cayenne pepper. I'm trying to remember what it was my mother had me taste that had cayenne pepper in it. I was like, this is disgusting. Um, it wasn't tea. It was, I can't remember. It was something that had no business having it in it. Kenobi, did the debate already start? I thought it was at 10:30. That's what I was telling people. Shit, 9 p.m. Oh crap. Well, guys, we're gonna end this in a few minutes. I'm guessing. Well, let me see what time it is. It's 9:15. So they started on time. I thought they would have like the pundits giving like their little speculation before it started. So I guess we're gonna end this. Most people didn't really give too many thoughts on what they thought it was gonna happen with the debate prior, like last time, like when we did 2 months ago when we did the Biden Trump thing. That was more of a lively discussion. So I'm guessing tomorrow when we're gonna have our thoughts on the debate, because there's no way I can do a live stream and I talk about the aftermath of the debate because people are gonna want to talk about it anyway. I'm gonna do that tomorrow. We're gonna talk about the aftermath of the debate. Neil says I'm actually watching the debate right now. Yes. And Miss Neil said, yeah, it started. She said, yeah, I understand. I'm going to watch too then. Yes, I'm not going to keep you guys. I know everyone wants to go check it out. I'm sorry for putting out that erroneous information that it starts at 10:30. That's literally what I saw when I was looking it up because I was looking it up earlier and I was like, damn, when does this thing start? And I couldn't get a definitive answer. And one of the things at 10:30. However, that might not have been Eastern Standard Time. So I'm gonna go, guys, so everyone can check out the debates and we can discuss it tomorrow and have that discussion, debate, whatever. But again, shout out to Flutter B for the super and the membership that she dropped, even though it was to a random person. Hopefully, that random person will take advantage of those memberships as the other folks. Um, Flubby says other YouTubers are now streaming the TV and talking over the debate. Please don't do that. No, I decided last time I wasn't going to do that. For one, I think it would get copyrighted if copyright strikes if I tried to stream the TV and talking over the debate. So I decided that 2 months ago with the first debate, I wasn't going to do that. Instead, I'd rather just have a pre-debate discussion and an after debate discussion tomorrow. So that's how I'm going to do that. So guys, I'm out. I'm gonna watch the debate, cook some, and eat something. No Diddy, and I don't want to keep anyone. Thank you, Miss Needle, for holding me down. Still looking forward to the intro. Flutter be thanks for the memberships. All right, guys, take care. All right, thank you, and thanks Kenobi for putting me on G, put me on D because I mean on game. Sorry, no Diddy. Put me on game because I would have kept going and not knowing that the thing was on, to someone came into the stream. All right, guys, I'm out. Peace out.